Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Commodity TV and a new episode of our online interview series. We want to get an update today from GoldMining, and Alastair Still, the CEO, is here with us. Before we start, just one hint from us for BCSC. This video is on behalf of and paid for GoldMining. Yeah, Alastair, great to see you. Good morning to Canada. How are you?
Good morning. Great to be here. Thanks for having me on today. Excited to tell about the new stories and activities at GoldMining.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Great. I mean, we are a long time already with GoldMining together. I'm a shareholder of the company also. And I must say, maybe to remind our viewers also, it looks to me like you have like a dual use in your company. On the one hand, you have fantastic projects which you are driving further, but you also have very good financial assets where you did spin out. So maybe you want to give us a short little overview on that, and also how 2025 so far was for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the key is really what differentiates gold mining from most other junior explorers and developers is the depth of our portfolio, the optionality we have. And that's come about because we've created this solid foundation of financial strength made up of cash and primarily publicly traded equities, which as of this recording are valued somewhere near $175 million. That's a great foundation we have. On top of that, though, we have 7 resources, mineral resources throughout the Americas, which collectively, we're north of 12 million ounces gold equivalent measured indicated, and close to 10 million ounces inferred gold equivalent ounces. So sizable resources in the Americas with a strong financial position to build upon really sets us apart as being a little different than most junior explorers. And it's that diversity and that optionality that creates a lot of upside for our shareholders.
Yeah.
I would say that in the past, our company has been the acquirer. So we were opportunistic. We spent some 10 years. Our chairman and founder, Amir Adnani, was picking up gold assets when people were shying away from them. Those look like great acquisitions now. When we're at a gold price today, some $3,500 per ounce. Now we're into the harvest mode. So we can move forward with those assets, develop them, advance them ourselves, bring on joint venture partners, unlock additional value for our shareholders.
Absolutely great. No, also your stock price the last days really did a turn in the chart, and it looks to me like that we are working on a breakout, on a reverse formation to the upward, which is great, of course, because we waited for that really a long time. Gold is key. You already named it, 565. We have just been some minutes ago, so that's also breakout in the gold. I see it moving fastly now, 3,700, 3,900, and then 4,200. That could all happen until Christmas, which makes your company even more valuable. So let's talk about gold. One of the projects which always kept my interest was the Sao Jorge project in Para State in Brazil. So what's the status there, and how do you want to, let's call it maybe fast track into production? Because I think that would make really sense now to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think our San Jorge project in Para State is one of our cornerstone assets right now, and we've embarked on our largest ever exploration program for the company this year. We've got a significant diamond core drilling program underway. We're doing RC drilling, we're doing auger drilling on the property, as well as an IP survey, some geophysics on the property. What really gets us excited about San Jorge is the existing resource is a solid resource right now. It comes to surface. It's about a 1 gram per ton open pittable resource. It's close to infrastructure, so we're within 2 kilometers of pavement on a highway. There's a power line nearby as well. So it's got infrastructure, it's got grade, and it's got a district scale potential. It's well above 40,000 hectares in land area, so it's a big area to explore. Lots of untested areas yet, and that's what has us excited about the growth potential. And when we talk about Para State, this is an area that is now firmly planted in the minds of a lot of investors and mining companies, partially due to the excellent work by one of our neighbors, G Mining. They've brought on Tocantinzinho mine within the last year into production. They're going to be close to 200,000 ounces per year. That's a long trend from us, the same style of mineralization from us in the same district. And I think when they built that mine on time and on budget was a real great endorsement of the district we work in, and the types of rocks that we see mineralization in at our nearby San Jorge project as well. So super excited about that. We will be having exploration results coming out in the near future as we start compiling that information and start putting it together. And it's a good stepping stone to further growth and has us very excited. And there has been a lot of questions about how quickly we can move it into the next stages of development. And I think with the quality of the resource and proximity to infrastructure, it is something that we will move towards some initial studies to demonstrate the economic viability of the project as well.
Okay, super. So another good project, which I think has the potential to be brought into production, is La Mina in Colombia. And you have had already 2 years ago a PEA. So what's the status there? How do you want to move that forward?
Well, I think the one thing about La Mina in Colombia that I first would point out is that it's a gold focused project, but also has a significant component of copper.
Mhm.
That's one thing I think that we bring to investors is the optionality of copper within our portfolio. It's about 18 to 20% of the commodity exposure is through copper in our portfolio, which is great because the copper occurs as a co-product or as a byproduct along with the gold at many of our projects, and that enhances the optionality for investors. I think also the importance of copper as a strategic metal for working with stakeholders and governments and local communities. They recognize the importance of copper not only for the economy but for the greening of the environment and infrastructure as well. So copper is significant, and La Mina has a significant component of copper. The La Mina PEA was done in 2023, and we look back at it now, and someone says, "Well, that was done at a 1750 gold price." So we're talking at a gold price half of what it is today, and we
Yeah.
think it had strong economics then. So at today's prices, we get very excited about La Mina. It is what I would refer to as the right-sized gold copper porphyry in the right area. Gold copper porphyries, and not to get too technical, but that's a type of geologic system that hosts some of the largest gold deposits on the planet. They
Mhm.
typically occur in some of the high Andes of Chile and Peru, plus 4,000 meters in some very difficult terrains. We're in very amenable terrain here in Colombia. So it's the right size in terms of being manageable to develop. It's about 150,000 gold equivalent ounces per year over about a 10-year period. So the right, and on top of that, for a gold copper porphyry system with a grade above 1 gram per ton, it's kind of a benchmark to say that it's in the higher grade class of gold copper porphyries, along with exploration potential. So very excited about La Mina. It has some targets still to be drilled. It has some potential, not just on the gold price, but advancement towards a development scenario as well.
Super. On a development scenario, would you say, okay, maybe we need a partner there, as you have some very famous neighbors, or would you say no, we can develop that on our own?
Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the strengths of our team is that sometimes it's recognizing, what capacities you have and what your strengths are. We've seen plenty of junior mining explorers, have a stutter step when they move into development phase. The beauty of our team is we've got the depth of having been operators, being project developers. I've built mines myself. We know what our capacities are, and we'll move this project as far as we can to create the best value. If there happens to be a partner along the way that can add value and move it for us quicker and more rapidly, of
Mhm.
course we will look at that. But of course, right now we're looking to surface the most value for our shareholders in whichever path that takes us on.
Okay, super. Let's move to Peru, a mining place which was the last several years maybe not so easy to really work on, but I
Mhm.
think things have a little bit cleared there. You have the Crucero project there, and what I found really interesting because it is first of all an underexplored gold project, it's more something for the future. But you found antimony also, and I think this is definitely a metal of the immediate future.
I couldn't agree more. And I can tell you, I've just returned from Peru last week myself. I was down to the Crucero project. It
Mhm.
has been attracting a lot of attention. Here we have a resource. It's about 50-50, uh, probable, or sorry, indicated and inferred. About 1 million ounces indicated at 1 gram per ton, 1 million ounces inferred at 1 gram per ton. So it's already sizable, but that resource was based solely on gold. What we
Mhm.
found in doing our work and watching the antimony story, we've seen the price of antimony explode to something north of $55,000 per ton.
Mhm.
That makes it a very significant co-product that occurs with the gold in the mineralization of this deposit. It has not previously been modeled. It has not been part of the economic story. We're bringing that into the story now. We've had several news releases out putting a gold equivalency to that antimony. We're seeing significant upticks in the gold concentrate, some 30 to 50% in many cases, higher gold equivalency by including the antimony. So that makes it very significant.
Mhm.
As we've gone about that work, what we're attracting is a lot of attention from third parties right now. In fact, when I was at Peru, we toured a group to site who were looking at the project because the project checks a lot of boxes for teams. It's a
Mhm.
high grade deposit of gold. Antimony is a very critical metal for a number of countries and strategic in its importance, so it's very significant. The deposit comes right to surface. You can walk the outcrop and see the mineralization. I did it myself last week. So there's opportunities to fast track this as a development story as well. And most of the mineralization right now, in fact, all of it occurs in the zone identified as the A1 zone. There's several other targets identified on the property that have exploration potential, which is what developers always like to see. You can have a concentrated area of focus, but you want
Mhm.
to see the upside with the exploration. This property offers that as well. So stay tuned for more news on Crucero as we go about compiling more of that antimony piece, compiling old records and doing some reassaying, reviewing the metallurgical recoveries for that antimony, looking at various scenarios to move the project forward.
Okay, super. Also to stay in Brazil, I found that interesting. You were yeah, walking into that Boa Vista project in Tapajos. So why have you done that? How did you come on that? Because I think you have enough projects.
Well, exactly. And you were referring to the Boa Vista project, one of our smaller projects. It's a pre-resource project. In the start of July this year, we announced we'd brought in a partner from Australia, Australian Mines Limited, who are doing an option to earn in on the property. And it's a win-win for us. It lets us stay focused on our core projects. We brought in a junior explorer to
Mhm.
advance one of our earlier projects. In return, we receive some cash payments, we'll receive share payments, and receive an equity interest in the project going forward. So it's
Mhm.
a great win for our shareholders. I kind of look at it as that when we announced that, many people said, "Well, never even heard of your Boa Vista project," and I said, "Well, if we can daylight value on a headline resource or headline news article that says there's $7 million we can receive from a project no one's even heard of, think of the optionality within our portfolio. That's one of our smallest projects no one's heard of. We've got our bigger projects we can stay focused on and yet still bring significant returns for our shareholders from the depth of our portfolio."
Okay, super. Moving forward here, I saw you sold some NEF Gold shares. Why happened that? I mean, you still have enough, but is that for tax reasons or?
Yeah, there was a number of reasons for that. I think we worked closely with Nevgold on that share. They helped us place a portion of it. There were some concerns that our position was simply too big and it was overpowering the company. We had at one point, I think it was about 28% ownership. We
Mhm.
settled now below 20%. That's a much more comfortable level. That brings a lot more interest and eyes onto the stock. We worked with them to do a block trade so it wouldn't be constantly trickling out onto the market. And we've entered into a standstill with them now. So we don't plan to have any foreseeable sales through that standstill. We've great support of that team at Nevgold. We know them well. We see that they've started up a new drill campaign, and we're excited because we still have upside with the equity position we have in their company now.
Okay, super. One of the biggest chokers, I think, in your company is the rare uranium project in Canada. So what are the plans here? What have you achieved? How do you want to move forward with that? Because I believe it makes probably sense to do a deal with Orano or something else. So what is the status there?
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, this is another project. Talk about depth of a portfolio. Few people would think that a company called GoldMining Inc. would have a uranium asset. In fact, we do. We have one of the largest land packages in the Western Athabasca Basin,
Mhm.
Alberta, and Canada. We have Orano, who's an existing 25% partner on the project. It's clearly not a core project for us, so it's best to see if we can move it forward to create value for our shareholders and let maybe a more uranium focused company move it. To do that, we've done a couple of things over the last several months. The first is we've updated the technical report, so it's a fresh technical report. It's up to date with the latest findings, latest information, claim information, etc. on the project. So that's been published, the new technical report. We've developed a drill program for the project. Of course, the targets are well known. There's known uranium occurrences. So we've developed a drill program. We've actually run that through permitting. So we've received our drill permits from the Alberta regulatory agencies. So it's drill ready and permit ready. And we've also begun the stakeholder engagement with the local First Nations. So we've got a solid footing to finish that process off, to develop the plans, to move it forward with working with the partnership with the First Nations in the area. So it's really putting it up on a tee for the right company with a project that's ready to go at the right time for uranium and a great chance to unlock value for our shareholders.
Okay, super. No, because I think uranium is really ready to rumble. I think we expected it already for this year, but there was still some overhang in the market, and I think a lot of market participants still don't get it that they are in deep trouble, especially utilities. But I think that will go fast now. Now this week is also the World Nuclear Association meeting in London, so I think it's getting interesting probably from next week onwards. We will see. But I think that's a great joker where there can be a lot of money be made. So if you would look over your portfolio, where would you say is number one focus, number two, three?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, our focus remains on moving what I call one of our cornerstone assets, which is San Jorge. We've got a significant program underway there with exploration. So stay tuned for those results as they come out in the near term. We've talked about our Crucero project as being a potential near-term catalyst with growth with the antimony story.
Yep.
We're continuing to develop that story. And remember, this is really what I call low-cost exploration. And we're harvesting data that's been sitting there untapped, untested for years. We're bringing it to surface. We're validating it, bringing it up to speed, and then bringing it to the market's attention. So stay
Mhm.
tuned on Crucero. And as you say, Brea, the uranium project, that's a great wild card within our portfolio. Few people still know we have it. I think there's a great opportunity to unlock value from an asset underappreciated and underloved in a gold focused company.
Super. So I would say ready to rumble also from your side. The markets are, yeah, have started. We are in a gold, silver bull, call it precious metal bull market, really. I think the bull market run cannot be stopped. And it looks like you guys have the right setup, I
Well, I
would
think
call it.
we're right positioned with the right portfolio. We've got the financial strength, and also I would point out that I think we're a little late off the mark here in terms of starting to be appreciated in this rising market. And that's where I think investors will be looking for the opportunities. It's not the
Mm.
companies that have already run 2, 3, 400%. Those that are been undervalued at this point, I would put us in that category. We're starting to see some good eyes on it. People are starting to appreciate the story now. So watch out for gold mining as it catches on with this wave of enthusiasm of new investors coming back into the gold space.
Yeah. Super. That was a great final word. Thank you very much, Alastair. Wish you all the best, and please keep us posted. And yeah, let's rock it with gold and silver, I would say, and copper, of course, and antimony and uranium.
Always a pleasure, Jochen. Look forward to speaking again soon, providing more updates.
Definitely, that's how we do it. Super. Thank you very much, Alastair. All the best. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Alastair Still, the CEO of GoldMining, and you heard it. A real great portfolio: gold, copper, antimony, uranium. Yeah, you name it. Wildcard with the Rhea project, and I think there is really a lot going on. And Sao Jorge is definitely something which should be brought fast into production because with those gold prices, that will be a real cash cow. And the gold mining stock price just started to appreciate by now. And I think it's the beginning of the story here. And really check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye bye from Switzerland.